Aloha and welcome back for Habit 24 in the Project 28 workbook, where together we are living our best lives and we are becoming the best versions of ourselves. And the cool thing is that we're doing it together. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to read the section here in green, which says, when you are able to remember that life is short, you'll know deep inside you shouldn't sweat the small stuff and you'll focus on your dreams. So go back to the dream big page and focus on your dreams. Okay, so I guess, you know, sometimes we can get caught up, or at least I know I can, and people who I know, right, can get caught up in the minutia of the day, right? Somebody ran you off and, cut you off in traffic, or somebody took your idea at work, or somebody didn't give you credit when you really worked hard on something. And those are all things like you have to work through, right? Or, somebody said something negative about you and they have no right, or your spouse maybe made a comment about the way you look, or, that you don't know how to keep a secret, and I'm not just saying all the things that have happened to me, just FYI. Okay. But it's just all of these little things that by the end of the day, or maybe not even by the end of the day, maybe halfway through the day, you can get so caught up in it. It's not hard, okay, to get caught up in things. I'm sure you know. But when you remember that life is short, okay, right now I'm like I'm tapping my pointer finger to my forehead, and I'm like remembering, okay, life is short. Because sometimes when those things are happening, it's hard to tell yourself that life is short, right? You're like, I don't give a rat's, you know what, that life is short. I'm pissed, I'm irritated. But what you have to do is just try and remember that, you really can't sweat the small stuff because life is so short. You've got to focus on your dreams. You've got to focus on your wishes and your bucket list. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. You're going to focus on your dreams, and then on your wishes, and then on your bucket list. So dreams, wishes, bucket list. Below, write down all the wonderful things you dream for, wish for, and commit to doing in your lifetime. Okay, so let's start with my dreams here. And I'm going to type it out because I think that this is we should be doing this, right? We should be, I think that if I do it, it'll help you to jog, your not memory, but like your thoughts, and try and get like the juices flowing, So let's start with the dreams. Okay, so my dreams are to have healthy and fulfilling, wait, let me get that over here, relationships with my hubby and children. Okay. Those are my dreams. And then, like, it's not that I don't have good relationships with them now, but you can always look to improve. You can always, things can always be better. Okay. What else? Okay. So my dreams, to be an administrator. Remember I was telling you, and that's happening, but it isn't right yet. I still have about a month, well, actually month and a half before I enter into that position. Okay. I also want to be financially free of debt, all debt. Okay. I want to build and grow. Actually, I'm gonna put this out there. $1 million business that helps other people and adds value to their lives, including the lives of people I love personally. Okay? So these are all of my dreams. Like, I wish, I also need to buy a farm near to my grandparents and mom's home. Okay, because my mom, anyway, long story, but I need, so these are my dreams, my absolute, absolute, absolute dreams. Okay. Now I know dreams and wishes, sometimes you can kind of blur them, right? And it really, honestly, it doesn't matter. As long as you're thinking about all of these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things that you want to accomplish. Okay. Now, I am going to start my wishes. And honestly, this one is going to be a little hard because these are all of the things that I just want like so bad. But these are like the dreams. The wishes, I guess for me, wishes are sort of, I mean, yeah, that'd be cool, like that'd be really, really cool, but it's not like a life dream. Okay, so actually I have to add to my dreams because it's not that I want to be an administrator because I've had a lot of time to think about it. I mean, it's nice to be able to have that authority when you want to make changes. Like, that you do have the authority to actually go out and make the change. But, a real leader is someone who is able to do that by inspiring people without having the authority. It's like if you can inspire someone enough to move them into action without having the authority to make them, that's awesome, right? That's a leader. The reason why I want to be an administrator is that I want to, now this might sound altruistic, but really it's kind of selfish, but I'm okay with it. I want to be able to say that I gave back to my community, like in a big way. Okay. And I know, like, being a teacher and working with students and inspiring them, that's awesome. Okay. But this is just something more in my heart. And what I'm working on now, it's in my current position that I am hoping that I can take with me to my new position, is I'm helping to build a transitions program. And maybe someday I don't know if I can't really say much because, well, anyway, it's a transitions program for students with disabilities who are graduating from high school, soon to be in the workforce. Okay, well, anyway, you get what I'm saying. You get what I mean, right? Like, how to dream. We've been together for a while, right? And I'm sure you knew before. You just needed to get it into practice, right? The dreaming. But anyway, so these are the things that I just really, really, really want to see. Now, I mean, maybe my dream car. Well, actually, I had my dream car, and I just thought I bought me, oh my gosh, a beautiful GMC Yukon. I loved it. It was my dream car. And I had it for a year. And then I thought, I'm so stupid. Like, why do I need a GMC Yukon when I just don't need it. It's so expensive. It costs so much money. And it doesn't make sense. I can't even haul things. And I would haul lumber, soil, just, huge, big things. And I could never use the Yukon. And so then I needed like a secondhand truck. It was just ridiculous. So I sold the Yukon. I bought a truck. And because I was like, wait, this is awesome and everything, but it doesn't make sense. So I guess maybe another dream or maybe a wish would be to get another Yukon and to not have that idea that it doesn't make sense. Like after a year of having it, Anyway, okay, let me give you a couple of wishes. Maybe, okay. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know why I'm like being super transparent, but I guess I should say I want a facelift. And my husband tells me, "Oh my God, like you're retarded. You're not getting a facelift. Do you see the celebrities who get them facelifts? They look worse than before they got the facelift. Why can't you just age gracefully?" I'm like, yeah, I mean I could, but nobody else does. So if I age gracefully, when I turn 60, I'm gonna look 70 because they're not aging gracefully. and then they're gonna be 70, and then they're gonna look 50. I can't do that. Anyway, maybe a facelift. It's not a dream. Maybe, it's not a dream, but I'd like a trip to maybe like a foreign country, because I've never been. I remember when my daughter was like 12, and she had this opportunity to go to Europe for a month. And I was honestly jealous. I hate to admit, but I was so jealous because I always wanted to go to a foreign country. And so she went and I never went, but I was like, that's my child. And then I thought, well, one day I'll go, but I'm 49 years old now. I just don't really have that much of a desire to go. I don't really, I mean, I am not really much of a traveler. Like, I don't like traveling. I mean, I think if I want to see stuff, I'll just go on YouTube, right? But anyway, so you get my drift, right? Wishes. Okay, now bucket list. The only thing right now on my bucket list, okay, or the only couple of things, is an Israel guided trip to especially Calgary. Okay, now, oh my gosh. This is embarrassing because, okay, I studied to be to get a degree in Christian leadership and pastoral care. Okay. And I got distracted. And I keep getting confused. Calvary and Calgary. Silly, crazy, right? So anyway, I'm actually looking it up because I can't remember. Like, I don't know why that is, but I always, but I think it's Calvary. I'm trying to remember the songs that I know. Anyway, where Jesus was, no, I think, wait, my phone's slow. It's Calvary, I think. Silly. I mean, so shame, yeah. I studied like hours upon hours almost every day for 2 years, plus I grew up, right? And then I still studied later. I keep messing up Calvary and Calgary. Calgary is in Canada or something, right? Anyway, I want to do a Israel guided trip to Calvary. That was always on my bucket list, but then, like things in the world started going haywire, and I'm like, wait, I don't know, maybe not yet. And then I started going on YouTube and following oh gosh, I can't remember the guy I would watch. And then Mike Huckabee went. He led a guided tour. The news anchor on Fox News, he went. Anyway, Israel guided trip to Calvary. That's a bucket list item. And then also, I mean, it goes back right now to my business. I want to be able to say that I have created with my own heart, mind, and soul a business that earns me money, actually that makes me money, that actually adds value to humanity. That's really my only focus right now. And I realize that I don't know if that sounds selfish, but it is what it is, and that's what's in my mind. And I think that just there's so many people that's going to benefit once I make that, bucket list, dream, wish come true. So anyway, you get the idea, right? That you have to dream and wish and create a bucket list, and remember that life is short, so that you don't have to sweat the small stuff, and you can actually work towards your dreams, your wishes, and your bucket list coming true. Now, I used to have a longer bucket list than this. Getting that degree, like a Christian related degree, that was on my bucket list. Paddling canoe, that was on my bucket list. Running a marathon, that was on my bucket list. And by the way, that one was really cool because I'd crossed the finish line with my husband, who was at the time my fiance. He was in Arizona and I was in Hawaii, and I crossed the finish line with him. It took me like right on the 6-hour mark, okay? Because I'm not like quick or anything, but I finished. My sister was like, she was irritated because she had finished before me, but because actually I hurt my knee and I needed to get like that cortisol shot, and so I took the cortisol shot the night before the marathon, and then my it started like really aching like the last maybe couple of miles, and so I told my sister I have to walk. So she waited. Now that I think about it, it's kind of funny. She waited at the finish line for me, and she could have crossed like I swear like maybe 10-15 minutes before, but when she saw me on the phone, she was like, "Are you serious?" And she turned around and she crossed without me. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Anyway, so those were on my bucket list, but I've done them because I had it in my mind since I was I think I was about 35. I was like, I'm making me a bucket list of all of the things I've ever wanted to do, and I'm doing it. And mind you, I paddled, okay, for a year, and I'm scared of the water. I live on an island and I'm scared of the water, but I paddled. Every day I would get on that canoe. I'd like, please don't flip, please don't flip. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I remember we're in Waikiki, we're doing the Waikiki race, and then we almost flipped. And I was ready to cry. But one of the gals in front of me actually slipped, you know, like not under her seat, but like almost under the seat in front. And I was like, oh my gosh, because she was like a pro, or not a pro, but she had paddled, and then she took a break and she came back, and we were like novice, you know, that's what novice, right? Or amateur, whatever. And then anyway, I remember panicking. Anyway, so I've created my bucket. I had a bucket list since 34 years old, but I just, you know, I've been crossing them off my list. Anyway, how do you feel about tackling this list? Okay, circle your feeling. Like, I don't know about you, but this made me feel really happy. I think you can tell I'm like giddy. Anyway, but it's okay if you feel a little bit, you know, like or like ooh, anxiety. It's okay. Just keep remembering that life is short and just work towards it. It's going to feel like eventually you're going to get to the place where like you're circling, you know, this happy face. I promise. I just know it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Please stay with me. You've been here this far, right? Project 28, Habit 25 coming up. Thank you. Aloha.